Alright, welcome back to the shop, guys. Today we have a cool project. We're going to be making a live edge cedar coat rack, and the customer who ordered this only had a few requests. He wanted it made from this beautiful piece of live edge cedar, but he also wanted it about 48 inches long so it could hold about 6 coats. Now, even though this piece is gorgeous, it's a little bit thick for our needs, so we're going to have to figure out a way to get around that. The easier thing to do would just be run it through the milling process, and even though that would make the shop smell great, it would be extremely messy, and the dust from this stuff can kill you, so you should never inhale it under any circumstance, and wear proper respiratory gear at all times. But not only would it be messy and dangerous, it's also wasteful. So in order to save some material, we're going to resaw this, and to do that, we're going to use the table saw. Now, if you have a bandsaw, that's way better, but I don't have a bandsaw, and since not enough of you guys subscribe to the channel, I'm grounded from going to Woodcraft anyways. So help me out. Hit the button. Now, I go ahead and joint one edge, not to get 90 degrees, but to get a flat reference surface, so as I slowly raise the blade to resaw, I'm not wobbling all over the place. But eventually I do run out of blade, and I'm going to have to cut it with some elbow grease. But it's not that bad. Once that's done, I can go ahead and lay out what I want for my back panel and my shelf. And I can go ahead and joint the edges of the panel pieces so that I can edge glue them. Now, they make special clamps for gluing live edges. You can go ahead and buy those if you want. But again, I'm grounded from Woodcraft, so I couldn't do that. And to be honest, if your edges are jointed well, you don't need a ton of glue and you don't need a ton of pressure. Just enough to make them kiss. Now, this is the piece I want to use for the shelf, and you can tell it has a lot of rot scarring on it. And even though it's dry and stable, I want it to look nice, even though this is going to be underneath and you won't even see it. So we're going to fill it in with epoxy, and this is exactly how you are not supposed to use epoxy. My dog chewed up all my wax measuring cups, so I had to use this can. And epoxy is a science. You're supposed to use exactly what they state on the bottle or container. And so I got lucky. This came out great, but you should never do this. Also, use different epoxy. Use ones that are meant for pouring, not like I did. This is for like quick fixes and glue ups. But hey, when you're grounded from the store, you got to use what you got. Now, I don't know about you guys. I accidentally glue stuff to my workbench all the time and have to peel it off, but after I do, I go ahead and start laying out for the shelf supports. What's really cool about live edge furniture is you don't have to really worry too much about things being completely square. You can kind of go with the even flow of things, and these shelf supports are a good example. As long as you make the 90-degree cut where you want it, they'll end up looking great. You just want to make sure the tops of the shelf supports are at the same distance from wherever you want your center line to be. Success. Now, before you put this thing together, it's a good idea to do pre-sanding. And I think it's important to be as emotional as possible when you sand. It is noticeable, guys, later on in the project. Oh yeah, beautiful. Now, to attach the shelf supports, I go and draw a line, and I drill from the front and then come through and finish the drill through the back. And then I'll even set the piece where I want it and pre-drill through the shelf support itself. And what this does is this not only gives me layout holes so it doesn't move when I'm screwing it together, it also reduces the risk of splitting because you're screwing into end grain. And to even help some more, I go ahead and drill the screw a little bit in, and that holds it so it doesn't move. Now here, I normally use Armor Seal, but I think it turned into Jello. I'm not quite sure what happened. So we're using this brushing lacquer, and even though it's extremely caustic, the look is great. And after that's done, all I have to do is lay out all the hooks. But you tell me, guys, what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. If you got any insults, leave them in the comments below. See you later.